Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this Crown Jewel Perth Talking Points video. Now, we've just done a near 8-hour stream, so my voice is not the strongest, but we're going to walk through the talking points from this show, and wow, what a show this was. I think this show is getting pretty much universal praise. People in our watch-along really enjoyed it. The instant reaction, the initial reaction online seems to be a really positive one as well, and of course it features an absolute classic John Cena AJ Styles. So let's walk through, shall we? So here you can see Sophie Foster did the US National Anthem, and there was heavy boos from the Australian crowds. That seemed to be quite a talking point at the very beginning of this show. So heavy boos coming from the Australian crowd, and what an Australian crowd this was. Yellow shirts absolutely everywhere. It was like this show had been invaded by the Minions. I mean, they were just absolutely everywhere. The amount of shirts they must have sold to this crowd's mind-blowing. Absolutely. Even if you had given everyone a free shirt, I don't know that this many people would have even worn the shirt because it just was everywhere. I mean, I've never seen a crowd that's had that many of the same shirt. I mean, obviously, it helps that it's bright yellow and it stands out, but absolute scenes. And even when Cena came out at the start of his match, he was like absolutely stunned, right? But it wasn't Cena that opened the show. It was Roman Reigns against Big Bronson Reed. This, of course, would be the Australian street fights. The match would start, and basically we would get Roman grabbing the microphone mid-match, saying, "Perth, if you want tables, acknowledge me." And I mean, look, all the fingers went up. I know that Bronson is from this part of the world, but this was a very pro Roman Reigns crowd. There was no doubt whatsoever who this crowd was siding with. It was Roman. They were very much on Roman's side. We had a table. We had a stop sign being used there. You can see Heyman at ringside, Big Bronson Reed in the ring with that stop sign. We then got Bron Breakker hitting a spear, and so that meant that Roman was outnumbered. That was to be expected. That brought down the Usos, so Jimmy and Jey made their way down, and then flipping, look at this disaster. A real moment in the show as Jey spears Roman through the table in the corner. Now, obviously, he didn't mean to. He was trying to spear, I can't remember if it was Bron or Bronson, but they moved out the way. Jey ends up putting Roman through that table, and the end result is a result I was not expecting. Bronson Reed beats Roman Reigns in the opening match. Now, I really like this. I thought the way they did it was very clever. I really like the fact that Jey was kind of part of the problem, if you will. And this led to some very interesting conversations after, right? Because here we've got, what did I tell y'all? The whole world thinks that I can't do shiz on my own. This was Roman talking to the Usos, and he was basically going off on them, right? I mean, I don't think Jey is in, like, deep trouble. Clearly Roman is not happy, but I didn't get the impression that, like, Jey has got now a big problem or he's got to watch his back or anything like that. I think Roman was just disappointed. He was just upset. I think he knows the Usos were there to help him. I don't think he's questioning that. I don't think that he's kind of looking at Jey going, "Oh, can I trust you?" or anything. So I don't think there's any issue in that regard. But it was interesting, and he said that because people were saying that when Roman was champion. You know, you always need the Usos. You always need the bloodline. You always need Heyman. But we haven't really been saying that recently. So, I don't know. I think we're trying to make this a bit of a story, aren't we? Can Roman do it on his own? Not a story I was expecting us to try and tell, but it seems like a story we're going to try and tell. He had a few other things to say as well. He said it only works one way. It only works one way. And then he said, "I don't want to see y'all till Christmas. Now, we know there are rumors that these guys are going to be teaming up at Survivor Series, so clearly this is part of a story, and this story is going to have many twists and turns. It was interesting as well that Jey also said afterwards, "I'm out, I'm done," to Jimmy. He's always like this. You know, the dynamic is so interesting because leading into this match, Roman had been talking to Jey and had been getting in Jey's head. And now here's Jey going, "Oh, Roman's always like this. I'm done as well." And so there's real division and issues and problems kind of every which way you turn. I'd say Jimmy was the most level-headed here. So, yes, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I thought it was a very good match. You lot said it was great 69. That's what you scored it. Great 69. Okay, there's only 2 wrestlers that have pinned Roman in a singles match this decade. That's Cody Rhodes and now Bronson Reed. That's how big of an achievement that was. Okay, moving on, we went to our next match. So this was, I mean, look, a huge flipping for the Crown Jewel Championship. Tiffany against Stephanie. This was match number 2. And yeah, a lovely submission hold. Look at her leg there, being twisted in all kinds of directions. So Stephanie gets the victory. There she is with Triple H, and an absolutely amazing achievement. They let her talk afterwards. She was saying, "You believe in me, and now I believe in me." And she was really thankful to the crowd. She seemed quite emotional. I thought they would go Tiffany. Tiffany's been on the main roster for longer, but they went Stephanie, and I'm really pleased. I think this was the right move. Personally, I think this was the right thing to do. I think Stephanie is, I don't know, maybe better prepared, more experienced, has got more to show. I think we've kind of done everything with Tiffany. I think that, yeah, this is the person to put the rocket on right now. Make no mistake about it, though. Tiffany has still got a very, very bright future. This is just a little setback. Right? Right, backstage, Heyman congratulates the Vision and says that if Seth wants them to come out, even if he's waving his arms around, they are not going to go out there to help Seth. I think what Heyman was saying is we need to know. You know that we need to know the answer. There needs to just be one winner. It's either Seth or Cody. If they're going to follow Seth's vision, then Seth has got to win this on his own. I liked it. I believed that they were not going to get involved, but I did think someone else would. And of course they wouldn't. They didn't. And so, yeah, but I like this. I think this made the main event even more intriguing. Okay, AJ Styles coming out with TNA gear. I believe this is some TNA gear that he had around 2005. I don't watch TNA. I've never watched TNA, so I can't go, oh yeah, he wore that when he faced Samoa Joe or whatever. But yeah, this was AJ coming out clearly in something a bit different than what we've seen him wearing in WWE previously. In fact, I might have, here we go, TNA gear. People are kind of linking it here. But as we said, don't have any kind of specific matches. Okay, then John came out. Look at all the yellow in the crowds. Crowd were chanting, "Thank you, Cena." John Cena making his way down. John Cena then did a special intro. He had a written intro for AJ Styles, which mentioned the face that runs the place and beating up John Cena, calling him like, I think he said like Mr. Bullet Club or something like this. AJ's reaction to Alicia Taylor's Bullet Club reference. He was like, "What? Mates." So, yeah, it was really, really good. I don't think he knew that was going to happen. And actually, that's what Wrestle Features said. I sense that AJ didn't know that was going to happen. So, yeah, I think it was a surprise as well. So this was a handwritten intro by John Cena, which was just a lovely little gesture. But the match that follows is honestly, I mean, it is like a love letter to wrestling. And I think it's such an interesting conversation, this, because there were people in our watch long saying, oh, they just spammed finishers. But these are finishers connected with John's previous opponents. I think there might have been some kind of tributes to people that AJ has competed against as well. I feel like they weren't just spamming finishers. There was reasons for them to use these people's finishers because these are people that have played a part in both of their careers. This is the last time we will get John Cena AJ Styles. And it wasn't about spamming finishers. They could have just done any random thing, but this was specific finishers for a specific reason, because both of these great legends are having their careers come to an end. We know that AJ has said he is going to retire next year. We know that John Cena has now got 4 more dates left, and that is it. So they went out there, worked at a decent pace, and then started dropping in these finishing moves and tributes, and mate, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. This is a 5-star match. You don't need me to tell you that. So TNA chants for AJ Styles from the crowds. Then we got Cena with a skull-crushing finale, obviously a tribute there to The Miz. We then had Cena with an accolade as the crowd were chanting Rusev Day, so a tribute there to Rusev. As well as that, we had a Walls of Jericho, right? Walls of Jericho, which is crazy. Obviously a tribute to Chris Jericho, right? This was the one, wasn't it? This was the one. This, for me, is where it went to a different level, because it's nice to pay tribute to wrestlers that are featured in your career, but a wrestler that has passed away that means so much to people. And I think as well, not only did he hit the Sister Abigail, and he did the kiss and everything, but the looking up at the heavens as well. This was a moment that made this match extra special. It took it to a different level for me. It's one thing to do the tributes. This was something special. So yeah, this was special. And actually the crowd really connected with that, because look at these scenes. This is the crowds. I mean, look at these scenes. I mean, that is, look at these scenes. That is what this match generated. They did that moment. They hit a Sister Abigail and the crowd responded with that. The crowd were absolutely connected with this match. And every time there was a tribute or a moment, the crowd did not miss a beat. We had Angel Wings from AJ. I mean, what a great move that is. Angel Wings, bang, by AJ. As well as that, we also had the RKO. I mean, what a moment that was with the RKO. So good. A choke slam by John Cena. As well as that, we had the Deadeye, which I believe is also Frankie Kazarian's Fade to Black. This is such a great move. Such a great move. Bang. So there you can see AJ dropping Cena down on his head. It's like a pile driver behind the head, isn't it? I know it as a Deadeye, but Frankie Kazarian's Fade to Black. And we just kept going on and on. Look at this. Phenomenal forearm, and an absolute picture-perfect phenomenal forearm. As well as that, we had the draping DDT. As well as that, we had sweet chin music by AJ. There's AJ tuning up the band. Bang! Absolutely fantastic. The crowd were chanting yes for Daniel Bryan. During the match, Creative Humor said wrestling is the single greatest art form of all time. And that really is the emotion that I think was kind of coming through. We had a tombstone pile driver, which I think went into the AA. John Cena defeats AJ Styles. This was one of the best matches of the year. What a display. So lots of praise for that. It was so good. And that was John Cena's 100th WWE pay-per-view victory. So very good. There they are, embracing. Beautiful. After the match, Beautiful. WWE Creative Humor again said, I'm pretty sure you just witnessed the season finale of WWE. Were not topping that. And look at this from Sean Ross Sapp. Look at this tweet. So John Cena AJ Styles paid tribute to a lot of wrestlers that helped their careers. Samoa Joe, which I missed the tribute to Samoa Joe, Chris Jericho, Rusev, Christopher Daniels, Miz, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Undertaker, Frankie Kazarian, Shawn Michaels, Sting. That was true. There was a tribute to Sting. There was even a tease of the 619. There was a Scorpion death drop for Sting. They did tease the 619 because the crowd were cheering for it, asking for it. I'm not sure if Cena will deliver that on one of his 4 remaining matches, but so good. So good. And there's Cena just letting us know there's only 4 left. 4 dates left. Now, after that, we all needed to recover. I mean, honestly, it took me a moment to kind of get my thoughts together after that. It was such a journey. It was so fantastic. And here, Rhea Ripley arrived in Australia and blew the roof off. When she came out, this place went absolutely crazy. So there we go. That is the entranceway. Brilliant entranceway as well, with that kind of jewel, that kind of diamond setup. The exact same from SmackDown. But out she came, and the place just going absolutely bananas. Of course, she is Australian. She had the Aussie flag on the back of her jacket. God only knows what her nerves were like before she came walking out. But we were underway with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and the Kabuki Warriors. Good match. It goes about 20-odd minutes. Honestly, I was still trying to recover from the previous match, and I had no issue with this. I thought they worked a really good match, a really good pace. You lot said it was great 55. It is worth mentioning. You lot said John Cena AJ Styles was all-time 81%. I need to double check, but that is without a shadow of a doubt one of the highest rated matches we have ever had for John Cena AJ Styles. Kairi said to Io, "We are family," and Rhea responded, "No, you're not." Look at this. She absolutely folds her over here. Bang, mate, that is a brutal razor's edge. Absolutely brutal. The end of the match, Kairi pushes Asuka out the way. She takes, I think, a big boot. This ends up in the Kabuki Warriors losing, and so Rhea, Io pick up the victory. So I think it was mentioned by Wrestling Void, a few others, that there was like an Aussie flag. I don't know actually if I've got the image of that, but there was an Aussie flag, and there was, there it is, an Aussie flag and a Japanese flag on the back of Rhea's gear. I think also Io had something similar, a Japanese flag and an Aussie flag, obviously just paying tribute to this tag team that they were in, and there they were picking up the victory. So very good. Very good. What is next in this story, asks Slamex. Brilliant account to follow, by the way. They do a brilliant job of kind of posting throughout the shows, so they're my go-to. Brilliant work. Right, there's CM Punk. CM Punk was actually watching Cena Styles. So there he is, kind of in the crowds in disguise. So that was 4 matches down. And here came Seth Rollins. He was alone. Obviously, he would be alone throughout the whole thing. We know that Heyman had said to Bron and Bronson, "You can't go out there. Don't go out there." Here was Cody. Cody looked great in this little jacket. Once again, we had a plinth in the ring with the championship on, the Crown Jewel Championship. I thought it was quite nice, actually, how they took their jackets off and they were kind of side by side handing it over to someone. Like, it felt a bit different. It wasn't just a case of bell rings, right, here we go. Like, we took our time taking the jacket off and everything. I thought that was really good. It's worth mentioning this as well. So the polka dots, this was from Steve in our watch along. So the polka dots were from the Hell in a Cell match. That was from their third encounter. I believe this was from their second encounter at, I think it was Backlash, this kind of lace. And then that is actually part of the WrestleMania gear that Seth wore at WrestleMania 38. So this panel here has patches from their 3 previous appearances. You know that Cody won 3-0. Well, that's part of the ring gear from those 3 matches. This is what he was wearing for the 4th. And of course, this would be that he would go on to get the victory. Spoiler. There he was, just looking at the watch before he handed it over. Of course, that would feature at the end of this thing. He would go over and have a right go at Michael Cole. The crowd were getting at Seth, calling him a... rhymes with banker. And he even had a bit of a go at Wade Barrett, of course, because Wade would, on SmackDown, actually say that. And Seth was very much not appreciative of that. That would result in the crowd chanting, "We want Barrett." Wade Barrett was like, "No, thank you. I know where my role is. I'm quite happy sitting here for now." Continued. There's some brilliant moments. There he was, mocking Stardust, which was really, really good by Seth. Really enjoyed that. Seth gets the watch. But we also get this coast to coast flying headbutt there by Seth. This was a really good match. Really, really good match. As well as that, we continue in massive crossroads off the top. I think at this point, look at that. I think at this point, the watch is actually in the corner. Seth didn't use it straight away. He put it in the corner. The ref is down, and then he would use it here. So the ref got knocked down. Seth uses the watch. He then manages to hit a super curb and get the victory. So Triple H presents Seth with the Crown Jewel Championship. A lot of people were expecting Austin Theory to get involved. No sign of him, but Seth picks up the victory. He says, "After I am no longer just the greatest of my generation, I prove tonight I am the greatest of all time." And that's how our show ended. SlamX said, "Very much enjoyed this show." And there are our 2 Crown Jewel Championship winners. And here is John Cena. So James let me know about this. So John Cena posted this. It is an image from Coldplay's Yellow video. And it was all yellow when John Cena was out there. So yes, I think that this was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. I think you lot said Roman Bronson was great, 69. Tiffany, Stephanie, good, 94. John against AJ, all-time 81. The women's tag, great, 55. Main event, great, 75. So, match of the night by a mile, Cena match. Then it was the main event. Then it was Roman Bronson. Then it was the women's tag, Tiffany, Stephanie coming out last. But, I mean, nothing massively disappointing. Even Tiffany Stephanie was okay. It was acceptable. It was fine. I mean, it was probably a pretty standard, like, Raw, could have been a Raw main event type match. So, I mean, it was fine. But it was just the other matches were just that bit better, of course. And Cena AJ, an absolute classic. Really loved it. So, there we go. That was Crown Jewel. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back later with an episode of Unseen. And yeah, thanks for all the support. Thanks to everyone that joined our watch along. And yeah, we'll be back again on Monday with our Raw watch along. But we're also back with TNA as well. We got TNA Bound for Glory this weekend. So, mate, the wrestling world, it never sleeps. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.